Hey everybody, Jess Intuitive Angel Healer here with your Grounded. Happy Friday. How many of you guys are happy that the week's over? So I just wanted to get on here. I haven't given my words of knowledge here in a while. I've been super busy wrapping up my podcast. I wrapped up Your Angels Are Talking, Are You Listening? And I have 10 episodes there, and Dancing in the Toxic Shadows is also concluded, and I'm coming up with season 2 on November 7th, and that'll consist of me sharing my knowledge of the toxic shadows and helping you, those of you out there that are experiencing it, how to get out of it. So if for those of you that don't know me, my name's Jess Intuitive Angel Healer. I am a spiritual practitioner, spiritual grounding coach, motivational mindset speaker as well. My biggest topics that I love are speaking about angels and toxic relationships. Those would be my two main things that I love because they both have helped me come to where I am today. And even though I don't have 10,000 likes and a million followers, that's okay because that wasn't my path. Sometimes we look at everybody else's path and compare our path to it and think that we are not far enough along because of what Susie's doing. What Susie's doing has nothing to do with what you're doing. You are unique, you are special, and everybody is here for a purpose. We all have a job to do, and if we are not able to do our jobs, because then that's when our world gets off kilter, because our job is to be ourselves. We all have a specific thing that we're supposed to do. And I think we are the silliest things sometimes because we think our purpose has to be bigger than what it is to be like recognized that it's a good life purpose. It's your life purpose. It was consisted of all the things in your past that have accumulated of life lessons and other things that we don't know, but we're all out here to do a purpose. We're all out here to live a purpose. And sometimes we're a little bit hard on ourselves, and I know that I am queen. I will admit it. And for those of you out there who are not admitting it, please just take a moment and think, why am I not admitting it? Because awareness is the key to healing. But a lot of us don't understand because we're not aware of it. We're not aware we're doing it. I have personally been on this journey of spiritual awakening since 2017 when my toxic marriage came down. That was like the lowest. I thought that was the lowest point, was my marriage crumbling down. It was actually the after effects, the living with the guilt, the shame, the crazy inside my head for so many years. People don't that are not involved in it don't understand that it's not exactly when it's happening, because you're so conditioned and trained that it's normal that you don't really pay attention to when it's happening. But the scary thing about healing, especially for narcissism abuse, is when you become aware of it, you have to heal it, because narcissism is, if you're in it, you probably don't know that you're in it. And I didn't know what a narcissist and an empath were for many, many years. But I know now, and I know that you can never make them happy. You will never satisfy their needs. They will always come up with something. And it always starts off, and I posted this picture today, it always starts off with you being their biggest hero. Oh my God, I'm so happy you're in my life. You couldn't, all these things, and they adore you. And it's almost sick because it's like grooming. And I'm a very I'm a very courageous person, and I've got the spirit of a warrior deep inside of me. And I know that I am here to give you permission to stop beating yourself up, stop blaming yourself for what someone else has done. If you are aware that this is happening now and now you don't know what to do, ask your angels for help. Ask me for help. Ask for help because it won't go away. And when you're aware, that's when most women leave, is when they finally become aware, and it's to the point that they have to fight or flight. But when you go through all this, you think that the healing, I'll just stay away from them, just like any other ex-boyfriend or, parent. It happens with parents. It happens with people. Anybody can be a narcissist. If they're manipulating your feelings to make them feel good and you feel like shit afterwards, ask yourself, do I really need this person in my life? Because I have walked my whole life being a people pleaser. And I don't know if it's the Pisces in me, I don't know if it's the empath or just the earth angel in me. But, sometimes I sit and think, wow, why? There's some mean people out in the world who are not grateful for what they have, but yet they're complaining that they don't have anything. And it's because their evil energy has destroyed it. But they always make themselves look like the victim, and we fall for it every time. Stop beating yourself up today. If you do one good thing for yourself this weekend, relax. Relax, let it go. Thank your angels for not being there no more. Thank you to them for rescuing me and giving me the knowledge. They will give you the strength, the courage, the knowledge, anything you need to get to your higher path. But you have to, it's like, if you're hanging off of a bridge and it's about to collapse and I'm throwing you the rope, you have to catch it. So it is a personal choice. You don't have to stay in it though. I just wanted to share those thoughts because, in the game of life, not everyone is very kind and nice, and people like to make fun of stuff that they don't understand. And, you see people like myself on social media, and I'm very transparent, but I love a lot of people that they look like they have it all together, and they're really not, but yet they're the one creating the negative energy because they can't accept their failure or whatever it is that's holding them back. So they go and hold other people back. And it's just not fair. I've just like up to here with the bullying in the world and the mean kids out there. Like, this is why our world is swirling in toxicity right now, because we're all awakening from the toxicity. But I had a few things on my mind and I wanted to share it today because I'm one of those people, I've been reading my poems and doing my podcasting, and sometimes I don't know, I get up on here and I'm like, do people really want to hear what I have to say? But I know that I get up here because I want to simply spread awareness that we're all meant to have a purpose on this earth. We're all meant to be loved. And maybe your purpose is just to be happy to go to work. Elementals are here to encourage other people to be happy at work so they can get the job done. But we can't just remove ourselves, because that's what happens when the depression takes over. You feel like you're not good enough for this world because you're living up to some dumbass standards that, seriously, guys, like, I can't meet all these standards in the world, because if you live by societal rules and standards every day, you're going to have a hard time, because I've had a hard time trying to keep up with, when I remember used to doing that, everything, it changed every day. And I was like, I can't do this. This is frustrating. So live your life, do you, and don't let other people determine where you're going. You're going to go where you're going to go. And if you made mistakes along the way, that's just going to make you stronger. So if you have a bad relationship out there that, or somebody got the best of you, somebody made you look foolish, somebody slandering you, it's okay. I want you to take a breath. And take one through your nose. And then another one. Clear out those chakras. And say, they don't matter. I'm me. I love me. And me get along just fine. I've been telling people that for years. So when people are like, I'm going to leave you alone, good, can you please? Because I need some peace and quiet. Don't put me by myself. I love me. And I've always loved me. But somehow the people that didn't love themselves got in there in a weak moment, and that's what happens. So if you're one of those really strong people and you're like, how in the world did I let this person get a hold of me? Well, darling, they just got you at a weak moment, and they just have a disease, because literally I didn't just fall apart and become submissive and just do everything I was told. I was in for 10 years. So yeah, the first 4 years was me trying to keep I'm independent, but then I was like, I can't be independent in a relationship. So at some point you are going to collapse into this. If you're in a toxic relationship, it's not your fault, but it is your fault if you start being aware of it and you continue to stay in it. For lack of scarcity, or that you're not going to find anyone else. Because I promise you, the girl who has traveled down the road of both good, bad, evil, and everything else, I promise you, there is someone for everyone out there. And if you don't have someone around you, then take a look at what maybe you need to change. Because maybe your angels don't want to put you through having a relationship, and all you're going to do is get in this relationship and add more guilt, because that's what we do when we're unhealed and we hop in another relationship so we're not alone. We end up bleeding all over that person. Then you end up having all this crazy guilt and shame and stuff in your head. And then your person thinks that you're just whacked out of your mind. And then, I'm sure you've heard, oh, here we go again. Yeah, that's the favorite that they love to say. And you know what? It's not true. You're human. Everybody has their breaking point. And I've been reading about your shadow, and it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that our shadow sneaks back up on us in our midlife, in our 40s. So, if you've been stuffing stuff down for years and pretending that it doesn't exist, guess what? Your shadow side is collective of all that negativity, all those things that you feel bad about yourself. It's all stuffed in there, and it'll come back like a boomerang. And that's why I understood. I had this spiritual awakening. That's why we have our spiritual awakenings. And I understand why I was so angry and upset and emotional all the time, because my shadow side is about the size of Texas, probably two states of Texas together. And that's okay. And I'm going to admit that, because some people don't want to admit stuff about themselves. But you know what? It's all going to come out in the dark. And I would rather you hear it from me than all the other lovely people that love to share the life that they did not live. So I'm just saying that we're all going to get there, but you got to have faith, and you got to have motivation in yourself, and you got to stop being afraid of change. And if you're super afraid, because I've been there, I've been so afraid that I can't even get out of my car because my anxiety had me stuck. My PTSD had me stuck. I understand that. And that's, if you are that like deep into it, come chat with me. I give out free 20-minute angelic consults, simply going over what is your biggest thing that you're stuck on right now. What is holding you back from happiness? That's what I do. I find the block that is holding you back from happiness. We work through it. and give you options, because that's what I'm about. I'm about, and I love contributing to the community and everyone out here. So thank you for taking time to listen to me today, and please share your thoughts at the bottom. My algorithm is really weird, so I don't even know who's watching me half the time. It doesn't show up correctly, and but that's not the point of why I get on here, because even if I just touch one person, that's all that matters, because I'm not meant to be everybody's cup of tea. I can fully well know that. And it's funny, I'm in the coaching business and I still get shunned by a lot of the coaches out there, or I've had guests kind of shun me, or other podcast hosts just look at me like, I don't know about you. And, it's lonely sometimes living in my own world, but it's okay, because I I read a quote and I wanted to read it with you. Trying to explain yourself to lower vibrational people and getting absolutely nowhere is something everyone on the ascension path eventually experiences. Release it. They can't hear your words. The frequency gap is too large, and that's okay. Save your energy for those that align with you. And that's from one of Melanie. She's one of my in my group, my Pisces group. Thank you for that quote. I love your quotes, by the way, and I share them all the time. And I also want to read this Girl Power Manifesto before we leave. I got a couple things, and then so two things. First is Prescription from the Angels, and if you haven't read this book, it's called Divine Prescriptions, Using Your Sixth Sense Spiritual Solutions for You and Your Loved Ones. It's by Doreen Virtue. I love Doreen Virtue because I know how to read stuff and I take what I need. So it doesn't matter what I'm reading, because she's the one who actually inspired me to, she's the one who started out the angel readings in the 90s. So whatever her decisions are now, when I started following her, all of her stuff is great, and it's from the angels. And so I highly advise you to get this book. It just tells you about situations, and she channels angel messages like I do. And their prescription is relax and let things happen when they come. Pushing impatiently only drives them farther away. So just know that maybe it's not your time yet. Maybe there's something that you're not seeing that your angels are seeing, and that's why those doors are shut. It's not because the universe is mad at you. It's not because God hates you. It is because simply you weren't supposed to be there. That is not your journey. And when you release that and know that you can just move forward and be on your own journey and stop being on everyone else's journey, because guess what? It's not your journey no more. Now you're on Susie Q's journey. So be on your journey. Be curious. Be like a child. How did you feel? How were you before the world took over and told you how to think and how to live, and what's in this week and what's not in next week? I'm just saying, these things haven't made sense to me since I was a little kid. And so I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am just a realist, and I pay attention and I listen and I watch all the signs around me, and I notice that if things aren't getting better, if things aren't changing, what do you need to change in your life? Who do you need to remove out of the equation? Today is Friday, and it's okay if you're not invited to that big party, or you don't have a million friends to go out to. It only matters what you have. Be grateful for what you have and the few people in your life that are there that mean something, because I could have a million people around me, and if I don't have the two people that I care about most in my life, I don't care about those people. I don't care about the fame and all that. So let me hear your thoughts on this. I would love to have start getting this more interactive. I'm going to start back my Why Not Wednesdays event, And if you guys would like anything else, let me know. I'm here. And don't give up. That's the biggest thing. Listen to some of my podcasts. Don't give up. We need you here. And when you're going through it, it seems like the hardest thing, but when you're out of it, life can be good and you can patch all those things. You don't have to live in the past forever. I did it for most of my life. And now I'm going for what? Why did I care about all those people? Because the people that I really had a hard time getting over, I really sat for years, and I've sat in for years and thought about it. And, it's okay. You, people are taken out of your life. I always say people come as a lesson or a blessing or both. So figure out why people are in your life, why things are happening. And if you need help with that, please send me a message. I love to chat, and it's a complimentary. It's not to make you buy my session. It is to help get some clarity. But you know what? If you need some help and you feel like it will help you, I invite you to let me be your spiritual coach and let me be your earth angel, and know that you're not alone and you don't have to stand for anything that doesn't make you feel good. If it doesn't feel good, let it go. I promise your angels will bring you 20 million more things that make you feel good if you just release that one thing that makes you feel bad. Release them, burn some sage, light some candles, and write it down. The best form of release is to write your thoughts down, and some of my most beautiful poems have come that way. So love and light to you all. Angel blessings. I hope you have a wonderful Friday, and don't let anyone steal your shine or your sparkle today, because you are put here for a reason and we need your love and light. It's like dominoes. So the love and light that I share here, you guys can share it over. And so please forward this video to anyone who needs a pick-me-up, and to know that Jess Intuitive and the angels love you. If nobody else does, or you're feeling like everybody else sucks, guess what? We're here, and I'm always like this. This is, just me. So have a wonderful day, guys. Love and light.